my speech, we're going to be talking about the fame's effects on Britney Spears and a young actress and singer. I believe that at such a young age, without any kind of guidance, viewing a young person as a product is not good for them mentally or financially. I've got three main points to support this. The first point I will begin with is young Britney Spears. And I believe that they had a specific image that they wanted to portray of Britney, an unattainable, perfect image, which wasn't, in fact, the real Britney Spears. A good example of this would be the fake virginity thing. Britney Spears' team wanted people to think that she was, in fact, a virgin, when really this wasn't true. She was to peddle this in media outlets and the news, and any interview she did, she was supposed to maintain the fact that she was a virgin. When, in fact, back later on in 2008, Lynn Spears penned a tell-all where she had actually admitted that Britney Spears lost her virginity in when she was 14 to an older high school football player. Another good example of the product, which is Britney Spears, was her over-sexualized music. This is a 17-year-old girl dressing scantily clad as a Catholic high school girl in her music video, selling basically sex. That's how she made her money, was by selling sex and her body and herself. Britney Spears was also extremely overexposed for a 17-year-old girl. Magazine covers, perfumes, movies, anything, any which way you turn your head, Britney Spears was there. And she was a huge part of the media, and even myself as a young girl looked up to Britney Spears because she was just who you wanted to be, and she was beautiful, and she was just the ultimate person at that time. If you look to the fall of Britney Spears, it was probably with the breakup of her and Justin Timberlake. It was rumored that she had cheated on him with somebody else, and this was documented in his Cry Me a River video, where a beautiful blonde woman was seen getting into a car while her boyfriend watched from afar. This destroyed fans' images of Britney Spears. Not only did that mean she wasn't a virgin if she slept with somebody else while she was dating Justin Timberlake, but that means she wasn't perfect the way that we wanted her to be and the way we thought she was. She was a normal person. She wasn't unattainable. She was extremely attainable by those standards. Also, as she got older, she wanted to reach out. She wanted relationships that she chose. She ended up having a 55-hour marriage in Las Vegas that as soon as her team got a hold of it, they annulled it immediately. It was just damage control. Let's handle Britney Spears and make sure that her adult decisions don't affect us and our brand, because that's what makes us money. Then, after the breakup, or after the annulment of Jason Alexander, she went on to marry Kevin Federline, which fans were outraged over this. Kevin Federline wasn't good enough for our Britney. He was a backup dancer. He was trailer trash. We could not handle that. And it made us resent Britney Spears. It made us look at her less than what we thought she was, because she disappointed us, and she disappointed her management as well. And this is when you see kind of the fall of Britney Spears, where she was so perfect and she was up here in terms of popularity, and she even got more popular with her fall because media coverage was extreme on the fall of Britney Spears, but she was almost hated at this point. She was notorious. She was no longer famous. After she divorced Kevin Federline after 2 children, she had got into drugs. She was partying with people like Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan, and she was using drugs on a daily basis. I mean, every single day she was doing cocaine or some sort of illegal substance. And her management team, her mother, and Kevin Federline got together and staged an intervention and told her that if she did not go to rehab, that she could no longer see her little boys. And she flipped out. She lashed out. She went crazy. She refused to go. She fired her management team. She cut off her family. She didn't see her little boys for months. And this went on for longer. She went down a darker slope even until her mother was able to get a legal order to admit her to a psychiatric hospital to be evaluated. And this is when Britney Spears started to rise back up. Her father was granted a conservatorship, which meant that he had control of her money. By controlling her money, they were able to control her, which in a way is sad, because as a 30-year-old woman, she can't handle the responsibility of handling her own money. She has to have somebody managing her at all times, just like she did as a young girl, because she never developed the skills to properly handle herself. She didn't ever go to the bank. She never budgeted for a month. She never had to pay rent. She didn't go to the grocery store. She had no clue how to do basic things that you and I both know how to do, because she never had to. Her father's decision also was to hire back Larry Rudolph, who was her manager, her longtime manager. And the genius that is Larry Rudolph, he decided to book her a steady gig in Las Vegas where she didn't have to travel and be in an inconsistent party environment, which was bad for her mental health and her sobriety. They also booked her a gig on the X Factor, which was rumored to pay upward of $50 million for one season. It's sad though, because if you look at it, successful Britney Spears is a controlled Britney Spears. She cannot make decisions for herself. She's also still not in a successful relationship at this point. She's never been able to maintain a successful relationship because she is mentally still a 17-year-old girl, and she will continue to be because she's never had to be anything else. In conclusion, I would like to point out the fact that if you look at everything that I've just presented you with, someone with that much fame and that much money and that much management cannot grow mentally and cannot develop the proper skills they need to be an adult because somebody's always doing everything for them. Fame can be toxic because growing up in the public eye is a recipe for disaster. Thank you, that's all.